The importance of staying vigilant while hiking cannot be overemphasized. While hiking, a man decided to record his experience, and this is what he captured on his camera. The two snakes didn't seem like they intended to leave anytime soon, and the man just stood there, filming. In a similar incident, a hiker captured a video that shows the dangers some hiking trails can have. The video shows a large snake calmly crossing the road. While the snake wasn't aggressive, it reminded the hiker of the risks hikers face in areas where snakes live. This footage was captured by a female Scottish hiker who noticed unusual movement among the trees. If you look closely to the left, you'll spot some strange activity happening there. The video shows multiple human-like apparitions, with some moving their limbs, and one figure nearly as large as a tree. While the authenticity of the video can't be confirmed, it remains difficult to disprove. A hiker recording his experience caught this on camera. At first, the reptile seemed dormant, but then it seemed to change its mind on which direction to go.
Snake. It's a little snake. It's a black snake. Hey, snake. Hey, snake. Oh, a snake. That's your whole snake.
The hiker could be heard humming in the background, obviously unafraid of the danger in front of him. In 2022, a climber named Casey Dubois had a scary fall while climbing Warriors of the Wasteland in Squamish, Canada. During the climb, a piece of his gear failed, and a carabiner came loose, causing him to fall a long way. Thankfully, Casey was wearing a helmet, which cracked during the fall, but it saved him from serious injury. This shows how important it is to check your gear and stay safe while climbing. This man was out camping alone and was recording himself getting set, but things didn't exactly go as planned.
Place turned around so I could work on it a bit. Do you hear that?
While preparing himself to retire for the night, his actions were halted when he heard the terrifying sound of an unknown creature outside his tent. The Lord Howe Island stick insect, once so common on Lord Howe Island in Australia that fishermen used them as bait, clawed back from extinction.
The Lord Howe Island stick insect is the largest flightless stick insect and can grow up to 4 inches in length. That's almost the length of an adult human's hand. It is affectionately nicknamed the tree lobster, the land lobster, and even the walking sausage. Lord Howe Island stick insects were once so common on Lord Howe Island that they were used as bait by fishermen. Then, a British supply ship crashed on the island in 1918, accidentally introducing rats, who ate the insects.
After rats were introduced to the island in 1918 by a British supply ship, the insects were believed to have been eaten to extinction. However, in 2001, a small population of the species was discovered, marking the beginning of its remarkable comeback.
By 1960, they were declared extinct. Then, in 2001, Australian scientists discovered a tiny population hidden on a small volcanic island nearby. Thanks to a breeding program at Melbourne Zoo, they have been able to save and repopulate this species.
Goblin sharks are deep-sea dwellers found along continental shelves, primarily off Japan's coast. These endangered pink-colored creatures can reach 12 feet in length and weigh up to 460 pounds. With their narrow snouts and fang-like teeth, they bear a striking resemblance to the mythical goblins of Japanese folklore, inspiring their name.
And knows just how to use it. Most goblin sharks are 10 to 12 feet long, but they can grow much bigger. Sluggish, until they attack. These are the fastest fish jaws in the ocean. 10 feet per second. So fast it can only be seen in slow motion.
This Australian lizard hadn't been seen for over 50 years, but it made a miraculous comeback in 2023. Once common in Victoria, the Victorian grassland earless dragon became critically endangered in the 1960s due to habitat destruction, with its last confirmed sighting in 1969. Australia's earless dragon, once thought extinct, was rediscovered last year when 2 ecologists found one in the wild. Though a 2019 study suggested its extinction, unconfirmed sightings kept hope alive. An ecological survey confirmed its survival, leading to the collection of 16 individuals now part of a breeding program at Melbourne Zoo. This is the world's largest bee, Wallace's giant bee or Megachial Pluto, named after its first collector, Alfred Russel Wallace. This solitary bee, native to Indonesia, was long thought to be extinct.
Megachial Pluto, the world's largest bee, and something I've dreamed of seeing for about 9 years. We've been searching for 4 days now in the North Moluccas, and we stumbled across this nest and found the perfect nest entrance and waited, and here's our prize.
This giant bee is 4 times the size of a typical honeybee, measuring up to 4 centimeters in length with a wingspan of 2.5 inches. Until 2019, it hadn't been seen alive for 38 years, leaving scientists unsure of its existence. To the delight of entomologists, a female was found nesting in a termite nest. Despite the rediscovery, the species remains vulnerable to extinction, partly due to habitat loss from expanding palm oil plantations. After being charged by 2 dogs, an officer remained calm and spoke to them gently. Surprisingly, they didn't harm him.
What? Hey. You're okay. Get back. Get back. Hey, get back. Get back. Hey.
With patience and calm shushing, the officer settled the dogs and even got them to enter his car. Considering how aggressive they initially seemed, it's incredible that no one was hurt.
Settle down. Come on, let's go for a ride. Load up. Load up. You can go in there. Good boys. Load up. Load up. You're okay. Load up. How do you like me now?
This video shows Chiba police officers trying to capture a wild boar at a construction site. After struggling, reinforcements arrived with nets to limit the boar's movements and shields to protect themselves. With teamwork and caution, they eventually managed to capture it. This couple was having a great moment when dash cam footage showed Deputy Adam Sisk warning them about a snake nearby.
Hey, don't move.
Okay.
There's a rattlesnake right next to you.
Okay.
Don't move.
Okay.
The mood quickly changed when the guy ran off, leaving the lady behind. Luckily, neither of them was hurt.
Roll toward me. Come here, don't run away, come here. Don't run away, come here. Roll toward me. That's a rattlesnake.
This officer was not prepared for a moment like this. After responding to a call, a squirrel suddenly jumped on him, giving him the shock of his life. The squirrel had broken into the house, stolen some cookies, and even turned on the music.
Here, I'm gonna turn your radio. The squirrel turned it on?
In Canada, police officers were filmed trying to catch an ostrich by grabbing its neck on the street.
Not a pit maneuver, this is an avian apprehension, if you will. Police officers...
The ostrich broke free and ran off to a nearby farm.
Had their hands full, literally, trying to snatch a rogue ostrich off the streets.
Officers from the Lufkin Police Department responded to a possible burglary in a neighborhood. However, they discovered it was a deer when they entered the house.
Police, let me see your hands! It's a deer! It's a deer! It's a deer!
The startled deer was frantically looking for a way out but got trapped inside. Even after the officers opened the door to help it escape, the deer struggled to find its way. The officers had to guide it outside safely. An officer tried to stop a man on a bike for a drug search, even grabbing his shirt to prevent him from leaving. That's when a dog suddenly appeared.
Stop there! Your thing's hanging! You're the search!
The dog attacked the officer, biting him, while the suspect managed to escape. On September 16, 2024, 42-year-old hiker Yang Meng faced a near-death fall in the Fanzhengjian Mountains, Anhui Province, China. While navigating a rain-slicked slope, he lost his footing and began sliding down uncontrollably.
Using a 360-degree camera to document his climb. Everything seems okay until Meng's feet suddenly slip out from under him right there. The camera then flips around, showing the terrified hiker skidding down the rain-soaked slope at a great speed. But seconds later, you see Meng fly into a tangle of brush as he collides with a tree.
Miraculously, his descent was stopped when he collided with a tree, preventing a fatal fall. Equipped with a 360-degree camera, Yang Meng captured the terrifying ordeal, providing a vivid, first-person perspective of the incident.
Amazingly, that tree was able to stop his fall, leaving him with only a bruise on his leg and a scrape on his hand. Meng posted the video on the Chinese version of TikTok earlier this week, and it went viral. But the near-death experience has not held him back. He says the fall is actually pushing him forward to explore the world even more, because now he realizes how important it is to cherish every day.
On June 12, 2023, a tragic incident occurred in the Tatra Mountains near Zaurat Pass. A young Polish woman descending the Zaroto Gully slipped on hard snow and fell approximately 400 meters, resulting in fatal injuries. She was not equipped with crampons or an ice axe at the time of the accident. Vultures have long had a bad reputation in Spain, often being illegally poisoned due to the misconception that they prey on living cattle. However, vultures are critical to maintaining nature's balance by rapidly cleaning and recycling the bodies of dead animals. Despite their importance, they have largely disappeared from Europe over the past 200 years due to a lack of food, habitat loss, persecution, and poisoning,
thereby reducing the danger of infection. They are fundamentally important for the health of...
5 dead vultures were found this year alone in the province of Ciudad Real. They had all been poisoned.
Vulture populations are slowly increasing thanks to reintroduction programs and species protection efforts.
There are approximately 80,000 vultures living in Spain. They scavenge around 10,000 tons of carrion a year.
Native to South Africa, the quagga went extinct in the late 19th century. It looked like a mix between a zebra, with its characteristic front stripes, and a horse with its plain rear.
The newly bred quaggas will never truly be the same, may help us understand how fundamental it is to save those species from extinction that are...
Scientists are working to resurrect the quagga through reverse engineering by selectively breeding zebras. Early efforts have shown some success in recreating its distinct appearance.
See it as a stunt that gives us the feeling of repairing something while actually having no impact on the conservation of biodiversity on this planet. The human factor plays a significant role in determining what defines a quagga in this project. While scientists focus on appearance, it is completely unknown what behavioral traits the original quaggas had. That is why the bred animals are called raw quaggas, to account for those differences.
The smooth handfish is one of the world's rarest fish. Once abundant in the waters around Australia just 200 years ago, it was declared extinct in 2020. Named after the uncanny resemblance to human arms and hands, its close relative, the red handfish, is also critically endangered with only about 100 individuals left in the wild. This species is found in just 2 small subpopulations in southeastern Tasmania.
On captive breeding, working with the IMAS aquaculture team. They'll focus on habitat management and mitigation of threats. We'll also be able to investigate some key conservation strategies, including translocation of
going extinct, and we don't want to see that with another Tasmanian species in the red handfish as well.
The Bramble Cay melames, a small brown rodent native to Bramble Cay near the Great Barrier Reef, was officially declared extinct by the IUCN in 2015.
The first recorded mammal extinction due to human-induced climate change has just been confirmed. Scientists from the University of Queensland in Australia have verified that the Bramble Cay melames, Melames rubicoba, has most likely gone extinct. The Bramble Cay melames was a small, brown rodent that lived in fields. The Bramble Cay melames.
Last seen in 2009, this is the first recorded mammal extinction linked to human-induced climate change. The species' likely extinction was due to the fact that the melames lived in areas below sea level, which made them highly vulnerable to rising sea levels.
Lived in areas below sea level, something that contributed to their extinction. The researchers believe that recent human-induced climate change is to blame. Rapidly rising sea levels in the areas where the melames lived in caused extreme habitat loss, and frequent severe storms made.
Also known as the baiji, the Yangtze River dolphin was last seen in 2002. One of the most well-known functionally extinct cetacean species, the baiji's decline was primarily caused by human activities. Once numbering up to 5,000 in the Yangtze River in the 1950s, their population dwindled to just 300 in the mid-1980s, and only 13 individuals were cited in surveys during the late 1990s. This rare footage of a captive Yangtze River dolphin called Kuiki, nicknamed the Lonely Dolphin, was captured by Professor John McWong, a research fellow at the Third Institute of Oceanography, China. Hikers truly endanger themselves sometimes. In one instance, a group of hikers was chased by a grizzly bear on the Hidden Lake Overlook Trail. Instead of standing their ground, they ran.
Back up, back up!
They shouldn't run. Don't run! Don't run!
Fortunately, the bear diverted its attention to a herd of mountain goats, and no injuries were reported. In this footage, a man found himself in a terrifying situation while hiking in a remote jungle. He encountered a tiger on the trail and, desperate for safety, climbed a high tree. From the tree's height, he recorded the tiger's movements as it approached. Surprisingly, the tiger's eyes seemed fixed on the tree, drawing closer with a slow, deliberate pace, keeping the hiker in a constant state of unease. The cyclist pedaled through the woods, their GoPro capturing the peaceful ride, until a massive grizzly emerged. Fear kicked in as the bear gave chase. Pedaling faster than ever, the cyclist weaved desperately through the trees. Just when exhaustion crept in, gunshots rang out. Hunters had arrived, scaring the bear away. Shaken but safe, the cyclist survived to tell the tale. What initially seemed like a prank call quickly turned into a nationwide sensation. A family reported to the police that a UFO had allegedly crashed in their backyard. When an officer arrived, he began an investigation and confirmed that another officer had also witnessed something unusual in the sky.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big light.
The officer then questioned neighbors driving through the area, who confirmed seeing the strange object.
Hey, did you guys... Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky? Yeah. We got a call, and one of my partners actually said that they saw it too. So, if you happen to see any, like, I'm not BSing you. If you see any, footage? No, like if you see any, like, little, well, not little in this case. They're claiming 8 to 9 foot tall green beings that were in their backyard. Sounds crazy, but you never know. Your neighbors, your fine neighbors over here. But again, I would normally discount it as probably not real.
Neighbors right here?
Yes. I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
In a very unusual interview, Connecticut police officer Robert Klein showed proof of his strange encounter in April 2022. The officer filmed a glowing light that changed colors as it moved quickly across a nearby lake.
I had just started my midnight shift, which is 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I was approximately 40 minutes into the shift, and I was checking up north near the body of water, which is a reservoir. As I was about 250 feet in, all of a sudden, from my left rear, there was a really strong light. It lit up the entire cab of my cruiser, to the point where I was having a hard time driving because I really couldn't see it. I was blinded by it.
When he stopped his car to examine it, he heard a strange humming sound. Surprisingly, a reporter in Russia saw something similar while broadcasting from a field.
off a low hum, which was very distinct, and nothing in none of the radio in the car, nothing was affected. It was just I heard a low hum, and the light was just very intense. Like I could feel it. I could feel it. I could feel it.
Это красота и тайна. Недаром этим крылатым существам посвящено столько песен, сказаний, стихов и легенд. К сожалению, в последние годы эта красота подвергается все большей опасности. Только за последние 350 лет...
Олежка, смотри.
Ой, ничего себе! Что это? Вау! Блин, что это?
Пропал. Офигеть.
In another interview, a Nebraska police officer shared footage of a U-shaped UAP saw on December 16, 2024.
This was actually the same day on December 16th. The first one was at 6:06 p.m. and this is something that occurred, let's see here, 6:25 p.m.
Yeah, this is one that really got me going. See, it's going one direction. I believe it's heading west, and then all of a sudden the lights just shut off completely. Okay. It just went dark, and I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" And then it turned directions, did like a sharp 90, and it started coming back my direction. And that's when I got this video.
When the reporter questioned the video's authenticity, noting that a plane was scheduled to fly in that area simultaneously, the officer stood by her UFO claim.
Now, there was a aircraft somewhat overhead at flight level 350, 35,000 feet. Do you recall seeing that airplane as well? Do you think that this could have been that aircraft, or more likely not?
Oh, definitely not. I didn't even see or hear an aircraft like that. Just like a commercial, or didn't even see one.
And
like I said, it did a complete 90 after it shut off its lights, which, you know, if it was, it's illegal. If it was, you know, something of our nation, but it's not. And then it's a sharp 90 degrees, and the maneuverability that it does, it's definitely not something of ours.
While reviewing the footage, they noticed another strange object flying in the background.
You know, one thing I just noticed for the first time is, back this up a little bit, so there's the one that you're tracking, and then it looks like there's one coming in from above at the top left.
Yep, up in the top left, there's another one. It's a completely different shape and everything. There's no lights on it. There's no flashing, blinking lights. It just looks like an orb, and it's going probably 5 times faster than that big one, and it's way higher.
One of the rarest discoveries is the solenodon, a unique mammal that was once thought to be lost forever. Not only is it incredibly rare, but it's also one of the few venomous mammals. By the 1960s, the Cuban solenodon's numbers had plummeted, and it was considered one of the rarest animals on Earth, if not extinct.
Pero ve para acá como foto ahí, mira, usando.
Okay.
Solenodons are nocturnal, shrew-like creatures with long, quivering snouts and venomous saliva used to kill small prey like lizards and frogs. Declared extinct in 1970, the species was rediscovered in 1974 when one was found in a Cuban national park, sparking hope for its survival. The Zanzibar leopard, one of several subspecies of leopard, once roamed the Zanzibar archipelago in Tanzania. While it's still unclear whether this large cat is truly extinct, there have been occasional unconfirmed sightings.
Look at that! Look at that! There is.
One of the most haunting videos captures the last Keo'i-o'o bird, a male whose song was recorded in 1987. It was a mating call, an invitation to a female who was no longer there. With his death, the species went extinct that same year.
That's the last male of a species singing for a female who will never come.
This is a species straight from the depths of history. Known from 19th century fossils, The coelacanth was believed to have gone extinct 66 million years ago, at the end of the Cretaceous period. And the story behind its accidental find is now celebrated as one of the 20th century's greatest zoological discoveries. To everyone's astonishment, a live coelacanth was caught off South Africa's coast in 1938. The fishermen, unaware of its significance, showed it to museum worker Marjorie Courtney Latimer, who recognized its importance. This video shows the touching tale of the last two living northern white rhinos, both females, as the last male, Sudan, died in March 2018. The 45-year-old rhino passed away at Kenya's Ol Pejeta Conservancy, where he had been under armed guard, succumbing to old age and an infection.
I was looking after the last two known northern white rhinos. Every morning, I will go to the enclosure where the rhinos spend their night. I have to make sure that their overall body is okay, and then we let them out so that they can come and spend the day in this enclosure. Najin, she's very much attentive to details. She likes to spend a lot of time eating and resting. One thing she's really fond of, passing wind.
The two remaining females are unable to give birth, making the chance of a new generation of northern white rhinos highly unlikely. Poaching and habitat loss have decimated the population, pushing the species to the brink of extinction.
In the evening, though, what you have to do is say, "Hey girls, come on!" Then they will come, bring them back again into a smaller enclosure where we give them a more tight security over the night. I started calling them the Royal Girls because they enjoy so much security. We pamper them a lot. They have everything they need. They are celebrities for the worst reasons, so to say.
One of the rarest birds, the Bermuda petrel, locally known as the cahau, was listed as endangered on June 2, 1970. Once thought to be extinct for nearly 300 years, the species was rediscovered in the 1950s. With a population of about 450 individuals, the Bermuda petrel remains one of the rarest seabirds in the world. However, its numbers are slowly increasing thanks to breeding efforts in Bermuda. It is also the national bird of Bermuda. It was a busy day for these Florida police officers as they safely captured a massive 12.5-foot python. They managed to secure the snake and transported it to a wildlife sanctuary. This footage shows a police officer wrestling an alligator, taking action to save it from being put down by a trapper, even though the alligator tried to bite him. The officer managed to get a trap over the alligator and carefully secured its mouth. In the end, they safely captured it.
to get him to turn.
I give it to Danilo. Danilo, you got the tape?
Danilo, you don't have the tape on you?
The Texas police station was in chaos for hours after a raccoon snuck inside. The officers tried to catch it, but every attempt failed. This ranger had a proud moment that quickly turned serious. He rescued a python from a village, and the locals cheered as the snake rested on his shoulders while people took pictures. Suddenly, the python started wrapping around the ranger, causing panic among the crowd. Thankfully, someone stepped in to help just in time. A man stepped out of his car to feed a wild bear, thinking it was a harmless encounter. But as the bear got closer, the situation turned terrifying.
This man mistook a bear for a puppy and paid the price.
What seemed like a peaceful moment quickly escalated into horror, showing just how dangerous it can be to interact with wild animals. In April 2021, a climber named Lars experienced a fall into a crevasse while ascending the Khumbu icefall on Mount Everest. He was in the process of crossing when he lost his footing and fell in. Fortunately, a team of Sherpas was nearby and responded swiftly, assisting him in climbing out of the crevasse and ensuring his safety.
Okay. One hand, flip your safety. Where? Annex, yeah. Can't find it. Yeah, lock. You have to lock. Come, back.
A group of people decided to challenge the treacherous K2 mountain, but what they saw made their blood run cold. After they claimed 2 hours from the bottom, they saw a person falling and rolling from the top all the way to the bottom of the glacier.
Hi, Grandma. How are you doing? Okay, everybody okay up there?
In June 2022, a family from Utah experienced a nerve-wracking encounter while hiking in Whistler, British Columbia. As they trekked along a popular trail, they noticed a black bear following them.
He's following you, babe. Hey, bear!
Hey!
Holy he's following us.
Oh!
Hey!
Oh!
Hey! Go home!
Oh! Oh!
Okay.
You guys go up there.
Oh, come on. Don't run. Do not run.
Despite their attempts to deter the bear by shouting and waving their arms, it continued to trail them for nearly half a mile over the course of about 30 minutes.
Hey!
Can we play dead now? Can we play dead?
Griffin, walk faster, please. Hey, bear! Following us.
Following us up the trail with no intention of...
Hey, bear! Hey!
He wanted to see a bear.
In 2024, a hiker had a harrowing encounter with a bear while hiking in the woods. The bear approached the hiker, causing panic.
It's okay.
Yeah, get up there. Get up there.
Hey, bear.
The furred animal followed the hiker for quite some time, but the hiker had bear spray readily available, and when the bear came too close, he sprayed.
Whoa, bear. Hey. Hey, good bear. That's a good bear. You stay up there. Hey, bear. Hey. Hey, bear.
The bear, startled by the strong odor of the pepper spray, immediately backed off. The story of the northern big-eared bat is straight out of a novel. First collected in 1890 and named for its massive ears in 1914, it vanished for over a century. That is, until 2012, when 2 University of Queensland PhD students, while collecting bats, stumbled upon one they couldn't identify. Their curiosity led to a thorough investigation, uncovering the rediscovery of this elusive species.
The northern big-eared bat is a white-bellied gleaner bat that is very similar to Schmidt's large-eared bat. It is also known as the tiny big-eared bat.
After careful examination and comparison with museum specimens, the bat was identified as a female of the long-thought-extinct big-eared species. This rediscovery came as a pleasant surprise to conservationists who had feared it was wiped out by habitat loss and human encroachment.
The bat lives from Honduras to Bolivia and southern Brazil. Gleaner bats grab katydids, crickets, beetles, and roaches.
Another species lost for over 100 years is the dramatically named terror skink. Like the New Guinea big-eared bat, its rediscovery highlights the importance of museum collections. Both species were known from just a single preserved specimen, called a holotype, from which their names and descriptions were derived.
The prehensile-tailed skink's body is a greenish-olive colour with scattered black scales. This colouring, combined with its slow movements, helps the skink to camouflage with its surroundings and hide from enemies. Like other skinks, its head is flat and triangular. Their strong legs and sharp claws help them to climb trees. The defining feature on this skink is its prehensile tail, which allows them to grasp objects and branches for balance. Their tail makes up nearly half of their body's length.
The terror skink, first captured around 1870 in New Caledonia and described in 1876, was presumed extinct until it was rediscovered in 2000. Native to the Solomon Islands, these skinks are the largest of their kind, with green and olive coloration that camouflages them in the wild. Their most notable feature is their prehensile tail, which makes up half of their body length. Sadly, deforestation and the pet trade threaten their future.
The prehensile-tailed skink's habitat is under threat due to deforestation for lumber and agriculture. This and the skink's popularity within the pet trade has threatened their survival in the wild. This is the prehensile-tailed skink.
Antioquia brushfinch, this small Colombian bird made headlines in 2018 when a local birdwatcher spotted it on his way to Sunday Mass. It was the first sighting in almost 50 years, and the first time the bird had been seen alive since being declared a distinct species. Since its rediscovery, researchers now know where to look, and many more individuals have been found. This has raised hopes for saving the species from extinction. In a heartwarming story, India's native cheetah population was declared extinct in 1952, but now they're making a comeback. Namibia, home to one of the world's largest cheetah populations, is sending 8 wild cheetahs to India to help kickstart a 5-year restoration program.
Well, nature didn't intend for cheetahs to go extinct. They were hunted down. And now that they are back, once their numbers grow, they will disperse through the landscape. Cheetah, charismatic in its own right, has a special significance for the national conservation ethics and ethos.
A heart-stopping moment unfolded in the Kaibab National Forest, Arizona, when a biologist had a close call with a furious mountain lion. The animal charged at him after being hit with a tranquilizer dart. Fortunately, they managed to scare the lion off before anyone was hurt. In this touching video, police officers came across a group of cubs playfully tussling over a rabbit in the middle of the road. While the cubs struggled, their mother was nowhere to be found. A California Highway Patrol officer in Susanville had a close call when an angry bull charged at him. Fortunately, the officer dodged the bull just in time and wasn't injured. What started as a casual swim in the ocean almost turned deadly for these swimmers. However, Navy officers flying overhead spotted the shark from a distance, alerted the swimmers, and began shooting at it. officers fired just the correct number of shots to keep the swimmers safe. In this video, footage from a DPS helicopter today showed a shark near the SPI shoreline, where several people had been attacked. Since the shark wasn't attacking anyone then, the officers decided not to engage and let it swim back into the wild. In this video, an alligator exited the MacDill Air Force Base and settled under a plane. FWC officers had to step in and capture it. The officers safely captured the alligator and took it to a shelter. In this video, a Los Angeles police officer noticed a strange object hovering in the middle of the road on the outskirts of town. As the officer approached, the object resembled a floating humanoid figure. Startled, the officer quickly drove away. In 2004, the Long Beach Police Department captured footage of a UFO flying through the sky using an infrared camera. After the mysterious object was observed, it began emitting strange materials from its rear. These substances resembled flares deployed from a fighter jet. This footage shows U.S. Air Force veteran Jake Barber recovering a 20-foot egg-shaped craft by helicopter at an undisclosed location. The craft had no visible means of propulsion. According to Barber, the Pentagon's UAP task force later confirmed that it was of non-human origin. The Mexican government, long known for acknowledging the possibility of extraterrestrial life, unveiled what they claimed to be alien bodies to the world.
son seres no humanos que no son parte de nuestra evolución terrestre.
According to a government official, the remains were recovered from an alleged alien crash. After a thorough investigation, it was concluded that the bodies were of extraterrestrial origin.
Y que después de desaparecer no hay una evolución posterior. De acuerdo a la Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, quien realizó los análisis de carbono 14, estos seres tienen alrededor de 1000 años de antigüedad. Es decir, no se trata de seres que fueron recuperados en naves, que son estrellamientos, sino son seres que estaban sepultados en minas de diatomea, tierra de diatomea. La diatomea es una alga fosilizada con 17 millones de antigüedad, es fitoplancton que abundaba en aquel tiempo y al desaparecer se fosilizó.
A startling discovery was made near the beach when someone came across what seemed to be an alien body. Police were called to the scene, promptly securing the area and launching an investigation. The Eurasian lynx, a type of wild cat, was considered extinct across much of Central Europe for 200 years due to hunting and habitat loss.
Excellent eyesight, powerful hearing, incredible agility, and a gigantic size.
However, the lynx has now been successfully reintroduced to several countries, including Switzerland, Slovenia, Croatia, France, Italy, the Czech Republic, Germany, and Austria.
Having said that, the lynx does like a bit of a challenge and prefers large animals, but that in no sense implies that it will give up on smaller prey, for example, a fox.
The black-footed ferret, a type of weasel, was once considered the rarest mammal in the world. Officially recognized as threatened in 1967, the species nearly disappeared due to the human-driven extermination of prairie dogs, their main food source.
Black-footed ferrets are really cool, rowdy prairie predators.
By 1987, only 18 black-footed ferrets were thought to remain. They were placed in a captive breeding program, and reintroduction efforts began in U.S. national parks in 1994 and 2007.
They feed everything.
A single black-footed ferret can eat over 100 prairie dogs a year. Bobcats, swift foxes, and birds of prey eat them too. But before they become dinner, prairie dogs serve another important function in the ecosystem.
Another success story of restoration efforts. Red kites, a large bird of prey, were driven to the brink of extinction in England by the end of the 19th century due to being considered a threat to game birds and pets.
Here at Gigrin Farm in Wales, you are being surrounded by about 250 red kites. They gather here at the same time each day to gorge themselves in a feeding frenzy. This has all been captured in 360 degrees, so make sure you take a good look around. As you can see, they are incredibly agile flyers, and if you watch closely, you can see a couple of kites fight for food in mid-air. See if you can find them.
The reintroduction of red kites to the UK is considered one of the greatest conservation success stories of the 20th century. Following a 4-year reintroduction project, there are now thought to be at least 1,000 breeding pairs in the area.
They're grabbing their food during flight, rarely landing on the ground. The bird you can see on the grass is actually a common buzzard, trying to get a free meal. Sadly, there haven't always been this many kites here. They were almost hunted to extinction, and by the end of the 19th century, the UK had just 10 pairs remaining. But thanks to an amazing breeding project, they have returned to a healthy population.
This is Przewalski's horse, an endangered wild horse species, considered the world's only truly wild horse. In China, it became extinct due to excessive poaching and environmental degradation.
These Przewalski's horses are the first of their kind to gallop the vast steppes of Kazakhstan in nearly 2 centuries.
China began reintroducing Przewalski's horses from the UK, US, and Germany in 1985. Since then, more than 800 wild horses have been bred across 6 generations.
The Przewalski's horse is genetically different and the only true wild horse subspecies. Its lineage split thousands of years ago, before horses were domesticated.
In February 2023, a viral video surfaced showing a hiker being chased up a tree by a bear. The footage shows the hiker scrambling up the tree to escape the bear, which attempted to follow but eventually retreated. The video garnered widespread attention, highlighting the dangers of bear encounters during outdoor activities. A guy camping in the Amazon rainforest shared his horrific experience with leafcutter ants destroying his tent, leaving him in grave danger.
One of the worst episodes yet of why you think you want my job, but definitely don't really. Right?
At 2 a.m., he was jolted awake by rustling sounds and discovered an army of ants using their razor-sharp mandibles to tear through the tent cover.
My tent is being dismantled by leafcutter ants. It's about 2 a.m. and I've been trying to sleep, and there's about 10 million leafcutter ants outside of this tent, and all they are doing is cutting leaf-size holes out of my tent. They are carrying away the nylon into the night, and because the leafcutter ants are working to dismantle every single thing that I own, they're opening up holes big enough for me to put my fist through, which means everything else in the Amazon is coming into my tent. And because of that, I keep turning on the lights. I just woke up because there's a leafcutter ant using its pincer jaws to bite my ear to try and carry off a piece. And inside this tent right now are ants and termites.
The ants breached the tent, allowing other insects like mosquitoes and centipedes to crawl over him as he fought them off. Despite the peril, the thrill-seeker chose to endure until morning instead of fleeing.
Sort of centipede, hoppers, moths, and some insects that I can't even identify. This is one of those times where you know it's 4 more hours until morning. If you get out of the tent, you're gonna get destroyed by mosquitoes. It's raining outside, you're gonna get wet. This is what camping in the wild is. Sometimes you put your tent in the wrong place and the leafcutter ants and the gods of the jungle decide it's gonna be the worst night ever. All I can do is try and get some sleep, and I wake up every few seconds to try and slap something off my face or something flies up my nose. This is one of those nightmare nights, man.
On March 31st, 2024, a dramatic rescue unfolded near the Battery Alexander Trail in the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, California.
Hey, don't let go, man. Don't let go, okay? Don't let go. Slide your left hand in here, brother. There you go. All right, here. Right hand through. There you go.
A hiker, identified as Cody Cretini, fell approximately 50 to 60 feet from the trail, landing perilously close to the ocean's edge. Clinging to the cliffside, He was about 40 feet above the waterline as the tide was rising.
I got you, brother!
On September 16, 2018, in Rubio Canyon, California, an elderly hiker lost her footing and began sliding down a steep slope. She grabbed tree roots, preventing a fatal fall. Emergency responders, including Air Rescue 5 paramedics, arrived quickly. A paramedic was lowered to her, and after releasing the roots, she fell briefly before being caught and lifted to safety. The takahe, a large, flightless bird once believed to be extinct, has made a remarkable comeback in the forests of New Zealand's South Island. Hailed as one of the world's rarest native creatures, the takahe has been an intrinsic part of New Zealand's ecosystem since the prehistoric era, as shown by fossil remains.
This is a takahe. It has a remarkable story of resurrection. These large, flightless birds were thought extinct for half a century before one final population was discovered in a remote mountain valley in 1948.
Takahe are large, stout birds with vibrant plumage, featuring predominantly blue feathers on their bodies, green wings, and a large red beak. They were formally declared extinct in 1898, but were rediscovered in 1948 in several remote valleys on New Zealand's South Island. Since then, their numbers have steadily grown.
Which makes this all the more special. Two tiny, fluffy chicks, barely a day old.
The Tasmanian tiger, a dog-like mammal, has once again captured the imagination of zoologists and conservationists. The last captive one died in an Australian zoo in 1936, and the species was believed extinct by the 1960s. However, unconfirmed sightings since then have reignited interest, though some are seen as dubious.
The Tasmanian tiger, easily distinguished by his straight, unjointed tail, is also a dangerous opponent, though, like the devil, is now very rare.
Taken from the 1935 travelogue Tasmania the Wonderland, the images of Benjamin, believed to be the last filmed footage of a thylacine, were captured months before his death in 1936. However, a recent unconfirmed sighting in rural Australia has sparked hope, leaving many wishing for a miracle.
Out of its natural habitat by the march of civilization. This is the only one in captivity in the world.
This rare species, last seen in 1961, was thought to be extinct. But in November 2023, it was spotted alive in Indonesia's Cyclops Mountains, ending over 60 years of mystery. The long-beaked echidna is a unique mammal and is one of just 3 species in its genus. Like all echidnas, the long-beaked echidna lays eggs, making it, along with the platypus, one of the only egg-laying mammals on Earth. That's not their only odd trait. These creatures are covered in protective keratin spines and have a long protruding snout perfect for foraging insects. Another species once thought lost to history, the Chacoan peccary, was known only from fossils and declared extinct. However, in 1971, biologists followed up on local reports and rediscovered this pig-like ungulate alive in Argentina's hot, dry Chaco region.
The Chacoan peccary is primarily found in the dry scrublands and thorn forests of the Gran Chaco region, which spans parts of Argentina, Bolivia, and Paraguay.
The Chacoan peccary is larger, with longer legs and an elongated snout, perfectly suited to its arid habitat. However, while its discovery in 1971 surprised the Western world, local communities had long been familiar with this unique species.
Thrive in this harsh environment, relying on its keen sense of smell to locate food and water. They are medium-sized animals, typically measuring around 3 feet in length and weighing between 40 to 60.
This video, recorded by a security camera in Russia in 2015, shows 2 men in military uniforms guarding a base near a large body of water. Suddenly, a mysterious creature lunges at one of the men, pulling him toward the water. The other man tries to help but fails and returns to the base for safety. The first man is completely dragged away. Moments later, the second man steps outside while on a call, but notices something approaching him and quickly runs back inside. Shortly after, something massive bursts through the doorway, and seconds later, a strange figure emerges and walks out. While working in the Gulf of Mexico, this ROV released a crate when something strange and unidentified appeared as it swam back. Zooming in on the creature, it looked like something never seen before, completely unusual. After a brief moment, it disappeared into the darkness. In 2023, NASA held its first public meeting on UFO and UAP sightings, where they shared reports of UFO activity in the Middle East. One video showed a spherical metallic orb that appeared ordinary, with no advanced technology or threat to air safety.
I will come back to the sensor question that David raised here in a moment. This is a typical example of the thing that we see most of. We see these all over the world, and we see these in making very interesting apparent maneuvers. This one in particular, however, I would point out, demonstrated no enigmatic technical capabilities and was no threat to airborne safety. While we are still looking at it, I don't have any more data other than that.
Police officers often encounter extraterrestrials and familiar creatures that behave in strange and dangerous ways. In this case, the beast was a pit bull. Officers were searching for a suspect, and when the man finally surrendered and came out of hiding, a large dog appeared and charged at a police canine and an officer.
Now to this. Caught on camera, a police dog attacked in Anaheim. Officers were searching for a stabbing suspect when they saw a man run up to a house.
One quick-thinking officer used his taser to stop the dog, and the suspect was safely apprehended.
Jumped through a window. When he finally agreed to come out, so did that large dog. Charged the police canine. An officer zapped the dog with a taser, and it took off. Both of the dogs are okay. The suspect, as you see here in this video, was arrested.
This man was peacefully hiking alone, but his peace was about to be cut short. As he moved along the hiking trail, he heard a roar coming from behind him. The gentleman picked up the pace. Get out of the area.
Did you guys hear that?
In a notable incident, 2 hikers in Sequoia National Park, California, had a nerve-wracking encounter with a mountain lion. As they navigated a high Sierra trail, the hikers came face to face with the big cat, leading to a tense standoff that lasted nearly half an hour. The hikers managed to capture part of this encounter on video, which has since been shared across various platforms. In January 2022, hiker Dutch Farrow was on a trail near Pyramid Lake, north of Los Angeles, when he encountered a mountain lion. Initially mistaking it for an off-leash dog, Farrow quickly realized the danger as the predator approached.
Oh. Hey! Ah! Ah!
In a tense moment, Farrow yelled to deter the mountain lion. When that failed, he unleashed a primal roar, which successfully scared the animal away. This runner got very loud during a close encounter with a mother bear and her 2 cubs on a hiking trail in Southern California. Somehow, the strategy worked. The bears kept their distance, and the runner eventually managed to descend the trail safely. The Laotian rock rat, first described in 2005, was thought to have been extinct for 11 million years. This species is found in a small region of the Great Annamite Range, spanning Laos and Vietnam. The Spix macaw went extinct in the wild due to habitat destruction, illegal trapping, and trade. Also known as the little blue macaw, this bird is famous for its vibrant blue feathers. Once thought extinct in the wild, the Spix macaw now exists in captivity, with only around 60 to 80 individuals remaining. Another tragic tale of human negligence and overconsumption. The passenger pigeon once numbered in the millions, possibly even billions, when Europeans first settled in America. But it went from billions of birds to extinction before our very eyes.
Because she was the last passenger pigeon in existence. She died in September of 1914 at the Cincinnati.
Humans hunted the passenger pigeon to the point of extinction, and combined with habitat loss, this once abundant species was doomed.
Extinct primarily due to habitat loss and commercial harvesting of the birds for food, for protein to feed livestock. The railroads provided a cheap and economical way and rapid way at the time to
Although not extinct, the wild European bison has been reintroduced into a forest in Kent, southeast England, to help manage the woodland.
Bison. They were introduced by the Kent Wildlife Trust and the Wildwood Trust.
The hope is that the bison will help transform a dense commercial pine forest into a vibrant natural woodland. They are the first wild bison in Britain for thousands of years.
The right players back in the game. European bison can be a nature-based solution to the problem. Really, their superpower is their ability to create these little, we call them microhabitats. They're really homes. You start seeing.
Another species once thought lost is the Pyrenean ibex, which was officially declared extinct in 2000. However, in 2009, it was resurrected through cloning, nearly a decade after its extinction. This is the golden toad, one of the brightest species to disappear in the past 40 years. Last seen in 1989 in a Costa Rican rainforest, it was declared extinct in 1994, mostly due to climate change and global warming. The stunning Madeiran large white butterfly was once found in the valleys of the Lauri Silva forests on Portugal's Madeira Islands. Its closest relative, the common large white, is widespread across Europe, Africa, and Asia.
Small black spot on the inner edges of both hindwings. The undersides have a grayish tint covered with tiny black specks, and the upper surface is cream white. The female is differentiated from the male by having 2 long black spots on the forewings.
The decline of the Madeiran large white butterfly is primarily due to habitat loss from construction and pollution from agricultural fertilizers. While it hasn't been officially declared extinct, the butterfly has not been seen for decades.
When they were ready to pupate and hibernate, one female produced multiple generations per year. The caterpillars devoured vegetable plots rich in glucosinolates.
Another tragic result of deforestation, the Carolina parakeet was the only bird of its kind native to the eastern U.S. The last known Carolina parakeet died at the Cincinnati Zoo in February 1918, shortly after his mate, Lady Jane, passed away.